She drove her SUV straight through my open workshop bay, parked it bumper to wall, and told me, to my face, that she had reserved the right to use my property however she saw fit. I stood there, covered in sawdust, holding a welding mask, and I said absolutely nothing, because I already knew exactly what I was going to do. By the time she got back from her HOA meeting that night, those doors were sealed shut, and I was 300 miles away, sitting on a lake, watching a bobber. What happened next didn't just end her little power trip, it ended her entire position on the board. My name isn't important. What matters is that I spent 11 years building something most people only dream about, a fully functional private workshop on my own residential property. She'd bought the house 2 lots down from mine, introduced herself at a block party, seemed perfectly reasonable, and then, within 60 days, had gotten herself elected to the HOA board as the new architectural review chair. She told me she'd received a complaint about unauthorized commercial activity being conducted from a residential property. 3 days later, I had a violation notice in my mailbox. I photographed that notice front and back, put it in a folder, and drove to the county planning office. Darlene didn't respond. What she did instead was show up at the next monthly HOA meeting and push through a new addendum to the community rules. The second violation notice arrived 9 days after the meeting. Same section, updated language, $300 fine, 10-day compliance window. I hired a real estate attorney who specialized in HOA disputes. I had noise-canceling headphones on, face shield down, working through a steel frame project. I was fully in the zone. When I lifted my shield and pulled my headphones off, Darlene was standing inside my workshop. Not at the door, inside. And her car, her white SUV, was parked inside the bay behind her. Then I welded the external hasp on the roll-up door closed. Not permanently, just enough that it required tools to remove. Then I went inside, packed a bag, loaded my truck, called my buddy Dale, and we drove to his family's lake cabin about 340 miles north. I turned off read receipts on my phone. I saw she had called twice. The sheriff's deputy who responded to the property declined to force entry. He told her, according to the incident report I obtained later, that the property owner had legal right to secure their own structure. I came back on day 3, sunburned, a cooler full of fish, genuinely rested in a way I hadn't been in months. I used a grinder to remove the tack welds. Took 6 minutes. Opened the roll-up door. Her SUV was exactly where she'd left it, undamaged. The formal trespass complaint we filed was reviewed and forwarded to the county prosecutor's office. Darlene received a notice of potential misdemeanor charges. 3 other homeowners on the street, emboldened by what had happened, came forward with their own documented complaints. Darlene resigned her position before the meeting even concluded. Because documentation isn't paranoia, it's the only language power-drunk people truly understand.